What if the words you say to yourself every day are quietly shaping the life you're living? Not someday, not eventually, right now. Because here's what I've come to understand. Happiness isn't just something that happens to us. It's something we participate in creating through our thoughts, through our beliefs, and through the words we choose to repeat to ourselves day after day until they become the truest thing we know. That is the power of affirmations. And today, let's get a little deeper into it. So, welcome back to Radiate Happiness, the podcast where we explore simple, soulful ways to live more joy, peace, and meaning. I'm Anjana, and today's episode is one I've been wanting to record for a while actually. We talk about affirmations and manifestations and happiness and all of this so much. Now, the one thing I want you to realize is all of this is not toxic positivity. It's not about pretending everything's perfect in life. No, it's about understanding. It's understanding that what we're focusing on is what's growing. What we believe is what we actually begin to live. And what we affirm is what we become. So I want to start with something honest about myself because I wasn't one who always believed in affirmations. They felt a little too simple, honestly, for me, too optimistic. Like you're putting a beautiful frame around a picture, which you haven't painted as yet. But over time, through my practice, my own journey, my own hard seasons of life, I started to notice something. The way I spoke to myself really mattered. The words I repeated in my mind shaped how I felt. It shaped how I showed up and what I allowed myself to actually receive. And slowly I began to understand more and more what people meant by affirmations and manifestations. All of this is not magic. It's not wishful thinking. It is profound, and I think it's deeply spiritual because there is a truth that energy flows wherever your attention goes, right? I'm sure you've heard that many a time. So what you believe about yourself and your life influences every choice you make, every door you walk through, every opportunity you notice or you tend to overlook. The universe actually responds to what you put out. And what you put out begins with what you say to yourself, about your life. So let's talk about how this actually works. Affirmations are not about lying to yourself. No, they're not, whatever anyone may say. They're not about saying everything is wonderful, especially when you're in the middle of something hard. It's about anchoring yourself to a truth which is bigger than the moment you're in right now. Okay? Now, there are so many different affirmations you can say to yourself over and over again. And one I come back to pretty often is, I think this was many years ago when I actually I felt very uncomfortable and not confident enough when I was going to a party and when I was going for a social event. So that's when I started it, and it's just stuck with me ever since. And I used to sit in the car, and as we were driving, I would say, I radiate love, joy, happiness, peace, and positivity. And I would just say it all the time. And I just keep saying it to myself over and over again. I radiate love, joy, happiness, peace, and positivity. And it just became a part of me. I say it sometimes when I need grounding. I say it when I'm feeling like all over the place. And every time I say it, something in me remembers this is who I really am. Not who I'm trying to be, who I am. So that's where the shift comes in. Affirmations aren't a wish. This is the most important line for you to remember. Affirmations are not a wish. It's a remembering of who you are, who you were before life took over. And then there are so many different ones. There's the ones for the flow. Uh, it's for trust. This is something I actually learned with Access. And it's for releasing the grip we hold on to life so tightly sometimes. And I say, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. This is also, it's just not an affirmation. It's like a surrender. So a lot of you who do my classes or who, are in our WhatsApp community know I do a lot of, I say a lot of other, if I don't, I mean, my biggest one, honestly, right now, which I've started saying is, Jo Tera Hukum, whatever you demand. That's a form of surrender, true surrender. It's like you're telling the universe, I trust you, I'm open, and I'm ready to receive. And when you live from a place like that, even a little bit, life actually begins to feel less like a struggle and more like a collaboration instead. Now, what about those hard days when none of this stuff I said works? Because they do come, honestly. Even sometimes, I just feel no amount of affirmations can make us immune to difficulty or loss or pain or anything. So this is where one of the oldest and most powerful affirmations, which I truly, truly believe in, comes in. And you know what it is? This too shall pass. So that's it. Ancient wisdom. And in the days when everything feels heavy, these words can actually be the lifeline that carries you through. Not denying the pain, not rushing past it, just gently, firmly reminding yourself, I have been through hard things before, and I'm here today. I have come through. It's like a manifestation. So now how are you going to build this into your life practically? I'd say start small. Choose one affirmation that resonates. Just one. Write it down and say it every morning. You'll have all heard me say this before. I have post-its everywhere, including in front of the pot, on the basin sink. I used to have them in the kitchen. My children made so much fun of me because I used to have post-its everywhere, really. But then when you put a sticky note in the mirror and you read it first thing, that's the first thing your mind goes to instead of anything else in the morning. And then you notice, this is not, nothing happens immediately. This is not a quick fix. It's a practice. So over days, over weeks, over months, you'll notice how words begin to settle into your body. You'll notice how you actually start to believe them. And most importantly, you'll notice how you begin to live them. Because it's that moment when your affirmations actually become manifestation. When the words have moved from your lips to actually your belief and your actions in life. That is you creating your happiness actively, intentionally, one small, powerful word at a time. So here's your invitation for this week. Choose one affirmation, anyone, something that feels true or something you want to feel true. If you need help, tell me. Say it every day, morning, evening, or whenever you need it, most and whenever you can. And then at the end of the week, ask yourself, how did this change the way I felt? What did I notice? You might just surprise yourself. Words are powerful. The ones we speak out into the world are especially the ones, I think more importantly than the ones we speak in the world, are the ones we speak to ourselves, the ones which are going inside. You're not a passive observer of your own happiness. You're its creator. You're its curator. You're the most important champion for yourself. So affirm it, believe it, and live it. Thank you so much for being here today, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, do subscribe, like, and maybe share with someone who needs a reminder that they have more power over their happiness than they even realize. So until next time, keep affirming the good, keep trusting the journey, and keep radiating happiness.